Hey, this is Chris. I'm here today to talk about Need for Speed Shift, the latest in the Need for Speed franchise from Electronic Arts. Now, to be perfectly honest, the Need for Speed franchise hasn't been good in recent years, so a couple years ago, EA dispersed the development of the franchise amongst different developers. Need for Speed Shift is the first game to be released under this setup, and it comes to us from Slightly Mad Studios, the guys behind the great GTR series for the PC. The result is easily the best Need for Speed title in years, and perhaps arguably the best one in the franchise ever.
Go, have fun!
Now, the bread and butter of Need for Speed Shift and the ultimate focus of the design very clearly is the driving experience, which is absolutely phenomenal. This is probably the best single, get you in the race, make you feel like what it's like to actually race a car, driving game that I've ever played. First off, the game looks really good from the interior. The cars look pretty accurate and all that's great. But what makes it is, A, the sense of speed, which is phenomenal, and B, the sound is absolutely incredible. Everything is intentionally almost distorted, and tire squeals sound like animals, roaring and ripping each other to shreds, and that actually is what it sounds like when you're in a car doing corners at 120 miles an hour, and they actually nailed that. The cockpit it's a little dynamic in that when you turn, it'll, kind of move around a little bit. It gives you the sense of having inertia inside the car, which is awesome. Now, the driving presentation wouldn't be anything without awesome tracks to drive on, and you're going to get a whole lot of real-world things here, like Laguna Seca, Nürburgring, stuff like that. The actual course layouts are very accurate in that, the roads you drive on and the size and all that is pretty much dead on, but the trackside scenery has been tweaked a little bit by Slightly Mad to make it more, to give you a little bit more eye candy. So these guys have basically said, we're going to make something that is realistic, but change it a little bit better for the gameplay, which is actually very cool. The game, while it is definitely much more simulation heavy than past Need for Speed games, it's still not a complete simulation racer in that the controls are still a little arcadey. However, it drives fantastically. Slightly Mad made some very, very good decisions on how realistic the game would be versus how forgiving the controls are and that sort of thing, and they wound up with what is pretty much the perfect mix for newcomers to simulation racing in general, and then also people who are hardcore racing simulation fans like myself. Now, of course, you're not the only person on the track. There's a bunch of AI racers, and fortunately, the AI is very good in this game. They'll make mistakes. If you crash into them, they try to get revenge for you. There are rivals that are driving around the track, which are highlighted. You can beat them and get some performance points for, which I'll come back to in a second. Now, of course, driving and buying cars and all that sort of thing is fun, but you wouldn't be able to do that in a manner that would keep you stuck to the game for 50 hours if there wasn't a very good career mode. And Need for Speed Shift has very good design ideas in this effect, but there are some missteps that happen when you actually sit down to play through the thing. So the one really cool thing is that pretty much every single thing that you do in the game, you earn something for doing it. So the thing that gets you through the game that earns you more events and things like that are stars. So you can earn 6 stars per race, and then those stars get you to other tiers, which then have other cars you can buy and that sort of thing. While you're racing, you earn performance points, which either go to precision or aggression. It doesn't really matter where they go. The end result is that if you're staying on the driving line, or if you're passing somebody clean, or if you tap somebody while you're passing them, or if you just get a clean lap, or if you're drafting, basically if you were doing anything, you're going to get some points for it. And if you do anything well, you're going to get more points, which is awesome. The bad part is that you earn a lot of money in this game. And there are 4 tiers, and each tier has another set of cars. And when I was playing the game, without trying to go back and grind and get a lot of money, when I would get to a new tier, I would have so much money that I could just buy the best car in that tier. So, there's not really a reason to collect a bunch of cars in this game unless you just want to be a car collector. And, extending on that, which is sort of kind of in the same realm, is that the game is much more, even though you can choose which event you want to go to, it feels more linear than something like Forza or Gran Turismo. So the career feels kind of checklisty. It's like, have I completed this event yet? No, okay, I'm going to race it. Now I've done it, okay, I'll move on. Maybe later I'm going to come back. And, I wish it had been a little more, elongated by making you build up your stable of cars. So in the end, Need for Speed Shift is very, very clearly the best Need for Speed game we've seen in a long time. And like I said at the beginning of this, possibly the best Need for Speed we've ever gotten. The driving mechanics and the actual experience of being in a car is 100% fantastic. Slightly Mad Studios absolutely nailed that part. The career mode could have been a little bit better, a little less checklisty, but the fact that you're getting points and stuff constantly is very, very good. So, if you are a racing fan at all, you need to play this game 100%. For the full written review, head over to IGN.com.